Are we recording?
Are we?
Yeah, I think we're live.
Oh.
Yeah. What is up?
Second time in a row that I'm not
everyone?
giving a rant.
Yeah, no, right. I think I caught you mid do.
Oh. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a rant though. I was distracted, you see, by Blackpink.
And welcome back to another episode of In the Cozy Corner of Nowhere.
Yeah, are we gonna be honest and say that the 5th episode was 2 weeks late? Are we gonna
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, you've already said it,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna edit that out.
Yeah. I love how you're like, it's as if you're trying to blame me. It's like you've already said it. It's like, I mean, editing technology.
That's not on me.
Yeah, that's not on. It's not like I'm
you.
chief. I say chief editor, only editor of the podcast. So yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Yay.
What have you been up to, James?
I've been up to so much that it actually makes me kind of want to cry. I've been, oh god, I've been down to Dunedin.
How's it?
Went to Iwi Chairs Forum, which is this big like national Māori leaders forum.
I was gonna say Dunedin's nice, but then I remembered I liked Queenstown, not so much.
I will say, Dunedin was, at least at this time of year, because of the amount of, because it was, springtime and the flowers, it was beautiful down there. It was genuinely gorgeous.
Yeah. I think I've only been down to Dunedin for, a couple of days.
Yeah, well, it's not like, Canterbury's a little bit, because if you've seen pictures of Canterbury's quite, it's just flat. And the flat goes on for, ever.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so different from say Auckland or anywhere you go to the North Island because it's always hills. The difference with Dunedin is that it's flat, but in the horizon there's always a large mountain or something, and then and because those mountains on the parts that you can see that are below the cloud lines, there's usually flowers and stuff. So it's all different purples and yellows and. I have to say I was shocked by how beautiful it was down there. It also played havoc with my hay fever, but, that's just something I'm going to have to live with.
If you look at the back of Big Black Mike, is it on the right setting, do you know?
What's the right setting?
It should be pointing at it looks like the figure 8, like an infinity symbol.
Yeah, it's in the right place.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're not going to edit that out either.
No. I mean, I don't know why. Is there a reason why all the functionality's facing my way? Because I don't know how to work this microphone.
I could just face it the other way, but I don't know.
I mean, we've done it for so long, it does feel like we're ruining a tradition. But still, it's you're is it on the right setting? And I'm settings?
Yeah.
What
to be fair, I haven't touched this microphone since we recorded.
Which is such a long time ago.
I don't usually use it for anything else.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's so much has happened in between there since the last podcast.
Oh,
We've handed in our last assignment.
Dude, I was when we were recording that, I was nah, this episode's gonna come out before I've handed in all my stuff for uni, but...
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, that just did not happen.
I know, we've gone from having almost no time and trying to, fit this in.
Yeah.
To having
all the time.
So much time that we could literally just record every single
week.
Day. Every week.
Oh, okay. I was thinking every week.
No, legit. If we wanted to, we could record something every day.
I mean, if you want, but
no, no.
I was gonna say
if we
I kind of want to have a break.
Yeah, exactly. And also, that's so much to edit. Although you would be able to have a stockpile of things.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe we could move it to every week.
Yeah. We could record again next week.
Yeah, because it's not what do I have to do? Nothing. We're finished with uni.
Is this interesting for people? Talking about podcast admin?
I'm sure this is welcome to the behind the scenes of Cozy Corner of Nowhere. We've just turned the recording on. We're actually in a business meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could move it to every week for this week. Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? We'll record this week and next week.
Yeah.
Because the week after, Vita's in town. So we may not get an opportunity to do so, in case she's
Okay, we'll bring Vita in.
Bring Vita in? Honestly, we so should. It should be a wild time. Although I'm not, honestly, I'm not sure how this...
With all the stories she has?
Oh my god. We won't go into detail because I'm pretty sure some of them could get her jailed. No. So
we're not going to tell that story without Vita's consent.
Exactly. Consent is important. No, I do wonder though how the set would work, like the setup would work
Yeah,
if we had
it's
other
true.
people. Because like, obviously y'all can't see us, so we're literally in like a basement kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's not like a creepy basement, it's like a band room.
It's like it's this room because the house I live in is a two-story house,
Yeah.
and it's the second story, and it just doesn't have any windows.
Yeah. And like it's kind of, and I feel like the more people you get in here, the more claustrophobic it would become.
And it's used as a band room.
Yeah.
So yeah, the band comes in and practices every Thursday night.
Oh my god, like behind the scenes,
Yeah.
guys. Just yeah, I know, it's funny. I'm wondering, like, I do wonder people that don't, like, who listen to podcasts, right? Like, you always kind of imagine where the people are, I guess, in your head. And I do sometimes wonder where they think we are
Yeah.
when we're recording.
I've been listening to a lot of Hello Internet and Cortex, and I know
God,
they
it's
do
such a
it.
good time.
They call each other over the internet, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like I always, in my mind, it's always just like a window with Gray's face, but like I don't know how CGP Grey looks
I
like.
sit there and I'm like, it's like a computer, right? And he's like talking to someone over the internet.
Yeah.
But what does his office look like? I want to know what CGP Grey's office looks like.
He mentions it as like the black monolith or something.
Yeah, I know.
And he has this soundproof thing that surrounds him.
But like, what does it mean? Like, I just want to know, because I want to know what it looks like. Like, is it like minimalist? Is it just like super tidy? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
What is it? What kind of office does he have? These are the things that keep me up at night. What people's offices look like.
The important things.
The important things. Anyway, so enough admin. What's our topic?
Yeah.
What are we talking about
I don't
today?
know. Hey, like
Honestly, because you've mentioned flags, I kind of want to talk about flags. I do have a weird interest in flags.
I feel like we're a bit late because New Zealand had that flag.
Referendum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how late are we on that one? Like that
Oh, a
happened,
couple years.
Yeah, 3 years ago maybe.
2015? Yeah, so 3 years.
Yeah, we're about 3 years.
Yeah,
4.
3 years ago. Yeah, because John Key was still Prime Minister.
Oh, John Key.
Jono.
What a man.
Johnny Key.
What a time.
Remember how every question you asked him, he'd always be like, oh, and then he'd answer with like some weird, like, just like some like non-partisan answer. This like kind of, oh, well, maybe. And you're like, and everybody was just like, wow, he's so reassuring. And you're like, how?
Mr. Key, what does that mean?
There's just a bunch of people being like, but what does it mean?
Oh, well, maybe.
Maybe. He was the epitome of the year now Prime Minister. Like, he so was.
Yeah, nah, mate. Yeah, nah, yeah.
I think, I will say though, I think at least most of our Prime Ministers, I do think, encapsulate New Zealand's values for the most part. Like, most Prime Ministers tend to be quite non-offensive characters. Like, John Key wasn't that offensive of a character. He was quite...
I mean, compared to everyone else.
Yeah, like, I personally didn't like him, but it's not like... My dislike of him didn't stem from him as a person. It stemmed from his policy that he did. Whereas, like, I don't know... Oh, Donald Trump.
I was gonna say, you're gonna make that.
I mean, like, come on. Like, at some point, like, sure, his policies are shit, but also... Even when he comes up with a good policy, I'm like, honestly, no. Because it's from you. Like...
Did you come up with that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, did you come up with it, or did you search it up on Wikipedia and find out that it worked? Like, what have you done?
How to be president for dummies.
Literally, like, I feel so sorry for the White House staff.
I mean, look, if he's reading that book, like, you gotta give him props for that.
I mean, at least, you know what? At least he's trying to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm really up on...
I support that.
Yeah, and I'm really into education.
In some sense.
I'm really into education, you know, really bettering himself. That 4th grade education that he has, really, he needs to, like, step it up, get into the 5th grade, to really try and come up with some decent policy.
I'm pretty sure that made it through the recording. Mm-hmm. Just me taking a drink.
Hey man, keep hydrated.
Yeah.
You gotta keep hydrated. You gotta stay fresh.
I was editing the last episode, and I could just hear myself just like gulp, gulp, gulp. I'm like, ugh.
Maybe you could make it into an ASMR. Is that like a thing? Is gulping a thing for ASMR?
I don't know what ASMR... Oh, I know what ASMR is.
Yeah, we all do.
What is it for?
Apparently it's meant to relax people, and it's good for making you go to sleep. I personally find it either too funny, right? Because like when they'll be over like, I don't know, like a makeup brush or something, and they'll be like touching it close to the microphone, being like, listen to the soft And I'm like, I can't go to sleep because I'm busy laughing because I think
Yeah.
they're fucking ridiculous. And then other times it's just creepy.
I listen to podcasts when I go to sleep.
You know what I've recently been doing? I just turn on like a YouTube video
Oh,
of
really?
like something, like anything. Usually it's like a game playthrough of like City Skylines or something, like something that's quite, like that's both interesting but also quite repetitive and mundane. And then but sometimes I'll fall asleep without turning it off, so I'll wake up and there's like full on, like I've gotten...
You're now on a Hitler speech.
No, like I'm now so deep into City Skylines that I then log back on, like I go on to YouTube and it just recommends me nothing but City Skylines videos, and I'm like, oh god, and then I have to think about like, oh, like how long was I, like, you know, like how many episodes I possibly got on. On average, those episodes are like 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I slept for maybe like 8 to 9 hours. That's quite a few episodes. So YouTube does think I'm like some City Skylines fiend. But actually I'm sleeping through all of that.
Yeah.
So it happens. It's currently my recommended is City Skylines and K-pop. That's all my recommended is at the moment.
Fun times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, growing up, I always slept with some sort of noise on. So it's like I never went to sleep in silence.
I don't think you should go to sleep in silence, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I mean, every single one of my family, I think, doesn't go to sleep in silence, and I think maybe that's why.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable sleeping in noise actually than I do sleeping in silence. Like I need to have noise around me otherwise.
Although, like, I don't know how that affects sleep quality. Or if it's like,
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to be a measure because usually I only get 4 hours to 3 hours sleep. So it's not like I can be like, oh, it's terrible for sleep quality. But actually, it's the time I'm sleeping that's killing the quality, not so much. I don't think it'll affect sleep quality at all. Unless you keep waking up in the night to turn off the noise.
oh yeah.
But if you sleep right through, I can't imagine
I
that's
can
got any...
sleep right through it.
Yeah, I can't imagine that has any detrimental effects.
Yeah.
Except for maybe hearing, depending on how you're listening to it.
I don't know how sleep works, man. I don't know the science behind sleep.
Neither!
Let's move right on. We were talking about...
Why did neither of us major in sleep at university? These are the things we need to know.
Actually, I majored in psychology, but you know,
But
we never covered that topic.
we never covered sleep. The psychology of sleep. Yeah. Now that would be actually an interesting topic. Like, I'd probably do that if I knew how to do psychology. Because I'm kind of not.
There was, like, I was watching The Brain. I think I've mentioned it with David Eagleman.
I
mentioned this last episode. And I'm pretty sure one of the guys in the episode, just like, I think he was like sleepwalking and he just ended up like murdering people.
Oh.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Oh no.
That would be... Oh god, how do you... Oh my god.
How does it happen, right?
How does it happen? But also, like, in a court of... Like, now I'm sitting here being like, I wish we had a lawyer friend. Because in a court of law...
How do you prove that?
How does that go down?
Right, like, the jury's just looking at you like, that sounds like bullshit.
Because, like, yeah. But, like... And are you guilty? Or is it, like... Because, like, because you technically did do it. Like, you were the one that did it. But, like, you weren't conscious of doing it. So, like, was it actually you? Oh god, that's the we need a philosopher in the room now as well.
And a lawyer.
And a philosopher, a lawyer.
A sleep psychologist.
A sleep psychologist. All the things we're not.
Yeah.
All the things we're not. I can give you, I don't know, I'm an ethnomusicologist, so I can tell you what music he might have listened to that made him a murderer. I don't know, like...
I major in drama. I could write a play about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, put us together. I can give you some music that'll fit well with the play. There we go. Art.
you could be my sound designer.
Oh, yeah, actually. I mean, I could totally do sound design. Although, speaking of sound design, you should totally talk about your theatre stuff that you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, the last 2 weeks of semester, I was operating sound for 2 shows for the honours project in the University of Auckland. There's a show called Daddy Issues and Plaques and Tangos. And those are like 2 very different shows.
I didn't get to see either of them.
Yeah.
because I was busy.
Because Daddy Issues was a devised piece by two of my classmates, colleagues.
Was that for a assignment? Like, was that graded or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was for the honors project.
Ah.
Yeah. So instead of like writing a dissertation or me writing a play, they did a production.
Oh my god, that would have been so fun if you did it, but also I can imagine super stressful.
But see, like I knew who was coming in to do honors, and no offense to them, but like I don't think I would have meshed with them very well artistically, and if I had to put on my own production, I don't want to have to like compromise every time. Yeah, that's true. So, like I like them as people, and I. Oh,
did you have to do it in a group?
Yeah. Oh. I don't think you could do it by yourself.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So you had to do it in a pair, or Plaques and Tangles had a group of 3.
Oh. So, yeah. Because if it was a solo project, it would have been like, oh my god, go for it.
Solo project, I would have just gone straight for it.
Yeah, but if it's a group, I can understand. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from.
So yeah, I don't know. I liked working with them, but having to artistically kind of like work with them, I don't think I would have.
Yeah, I think that's a problem, like thinking about it, like when you're on like, I suppose in drama though, I suppose like in terms of productions, like it is probably the best way to do it is as a group, because all things are group projects. Yeah. In theatre.
And putting on a production by yourself is stressful as all hell.
Stressful as all hell.
Because like not only do you have to think about the creative side of stuff, but you have to think about like admin. Yeah. So you have to make up a budget, a production schedule. You have to think of marketing. Yeah. The photos and the whatnot that goes into marketing and publicity. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, too much actually.
Yeah, too much by yourself.
Too much by yourself. Although, like, if I was doing nothing, I'd sort of come on as, like, PA or something. I'd have been get you your coffees.
If I could have, pulled it off, if I could, like, bring someone in that wasn't doing drama, I could have brought in friends who could be, I don't know, like, my production.
Oh, but did you have to use people in...
I'm not sure. Because, like, the light designer for Daddy Issues wasn't doing honors.
Right. Yeah. Because... If you could call people that were out from, like, just grab, like, Eugene, grab Lucy on a good day, like, when she wasn't working, like, just, like, get the crew together.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, they had people come in for Plaques and Tangles to help out with packing. Like, I met a guy called Ari, who was phenomenal, and I don't think we would have made it without his help, because he was, like, he was a tech guy.
Ari?
His name was, like, Arian or something.
Oh, that's such
like Orion, but...
See, I feel like I've heard that name before, but I'm not sure if it's the same person.
No, I don't think so.
No, I probably
he lives like way. I think west. I think. No.
I mean, I've been out west.
Yeah.
she's had many a party out west.
Oh yeah. That's true.
So, yeah, that's because it's such a different name. Anyway, I've completely hijacked it. Go talk about your processes, what you did, what you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, talk about the sound. Actually.
I mean, I didn't do much. I just pressed spacebar.
See, everybody, this is the arts for you. Yeah. We all make it seem like it's really difficult, but actually, you just press spacebar and you go hard.
I mean, for Daddy Issues, it was pretty simple because like they didn't have a lot of sound cues, and by the end of the process, just before the show, they've got quite a bit, which makes my job easier. Yeah. So they used PowerPoint because they had a projection on.
Oh, and projecting
like videos and stuff.
Oh,
on the wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to press spacebar to make sure the sound and the videos come on in the right like moment.
Still stressful though.
Yeah, but with Plaques and Tangles, it was a lot more complicated because they were using an actual software for queuing. They were using QLab.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't the one that programmed the sounds in. It was Ari who did it because he knew how to work around QLab, and I didn't. Yeah. I'm like keen to learn how to use QLab, but I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time I had all their sound stuff in, I think it was Tuesday, and that was the day before dress rehearsal.
Oh.
So yeah, which was not at all stressful.
Oh God. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that makes me like that gets me stressed, and then but it's the kind of stress where I get angry. Like that stress where I'm so stressed that I'm now mad at everyone. That's the kind of stress that would have gotten me into. There's two kinds of stress I get into. There's the stress where I get angry, and there's the stress where I cry. The stress where I cry is usually because there's a big distance between my stress. So like I'm stressed about it now, but it's actually not a problem for a week.
Yeah.
But then angry stress is tomorrow we have to do something, we've got nothing. That's my angry stress. Good to operate on the angry stress though. No one likes me, but I get shit done.
Although to be fair, like the person who was doing the lighting for Plaques and Tangos was India, who hasn't really done it before. And what she's come up with lighting and set was, it looked absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, like I don't blame her for not having sound all that ready, because the lighting, they have
honestly,
this...
I mean, they're big projects. You know what I mean? Like they're big projects. I imagine they were stressed angry or stressed crying. Like, you know, like
oh yeah, it was we practically used all the lights that was in the costume room from drama. I think we had like 40 lamps up, maybe.
Jesus.
Yeah, because it was a traverse as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
Like, yeah, so with traverse, you had to pretty much keep in mind that you have two perspectives.
Yeah.
So it's like, think, for those who don't know what a traverse is, think like a strip, and the audiences are on either side of that strip. And so yeah, you pretty much, your backlight for one audience is your front light for another.
Other, yeah.
So you have to keep in mind that you do have like two perspectives, and yeah, she has to figure out how to do that, and she's never done it before. And I want to tell you, it's way complicated, because we've done it for stage 2. And like we practically just stole someone else's design who had a similar stage from who did it in the black box that we were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I would hate to work on traverse, to be honest. I think I'd hate to work on traverse both if I had to get the stage set, but also if I was acting on it. And I think because the way in which you act on traverse is also different, because like
you do have to keep in mind it's two perspectives.
Yeah, because like one of the first rules you get when you start like any kind of drama is never turn your back to the audience. For working on traverse, it's inevitable that a part of the audience is going to have your back to you, and you know I'd hate to work on that, because I'd always get very, I don't know,
disoriented.
Yeah, I think I would disorientate myself. Yeah, probably. I'm not sure. That seems like a complicated thing to do, work on traverse, because at least you know when you're on a normal stage. Just that way, one way is the back, and the other way is where the audience is, and that's where you should be facing.
Fully turn behind.
Exactly. Like if I'm seeing the projector and not any faces, I've turned around too far.
Yeah.
Like whereas traverse, it's have I given enough time to this part of the audience, or who knows?
But the cue sheet for Plaques and Tangos as well was really complicated. So it's like Daddy Issues was kind of the beginner, intermediate mode.
It's kind of like you went through two kind of stages. Yeah, like module 1.
Yeah. And then like module 10.
Module 10, Plaques and Tangos. Yes. You skipped out the other 9 modules because you didn't turn up.
And like, you know, figuring out what their sound cues were kind of, I don't know, made me more familiar with QLab. So maybe I can kind of half-ass programming sounds into QLab.
Well, I think also like it's just the good kind of crash course, like when I mean crash course for you, you know. Sometimes I sometimes find that the best way to like get yourself around, like get your head into certain things, just to throw yourself into it and sink or swim. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, if it's something that you're really passionate about, like drama is to you, you're gonna swim. You're never gonna sink. You only sink
I half drowned, but you know.
But you didn't fully drown.
Made it. I had some water in my lungs, but
but you were still conscious, and we were able to get you to the hospital in time. Yeah, it's fine.
I made it out in the end.
I
pulled myself to the bag.
I survived Plaques and Tangles. Get them to make you a shirt. I survived Plaques and Tangles sound design. But yeah, and look, you graduated half dead, but you graduated. You know?
With two productions in my under my belt.
Yeah.
And, a Bachelor of Honours, hopefully.
Hopefully, I mean, we have to get our grades back for our final assignments, but
I'm hoping I didn't fail both my papers, so.
I can't see you having failed both your papers, because you were getting really good grades in your papers, weren't you?
Kind of.
I mean, One paper I had was Contact and Colonialism. That ended up being far more complicated than I had anticipated. It's done by a woman called Christine Dero. Absolutely adore her. There was something about her, though. A lot of people were kind of intimidated or scared by her, and it's because she's quite straight up.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I don't like you being late. I don't like your... she's just kind of like a straight up person. But see, I'm used to... Like,
Yeah.
I relate to that.
That's like expecting you not to be late isn't too...
Well, no, it's because she'll also, like... I don't know, she just came off as very, like... This is how it's going to be, and there's no kind of deviation from how I want you to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like that. Because I operate within that. Like, it's kind of... I don't know, every time people are just like, we're doing this, I'm like... Cool, you're the boss. Yeah. You're the boss. I pay $700 for you to teach me. Come with two. So, and I was just, and I don't know, she just reminded me a lot of my aunties, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so I was just very comfortable with it. But a lot of people were just like, oh, she seems kind of scary. And I'm like, ah. And if I was late, I was going to be like, not turning up today, sorry. Like, just living. I thought...
Bye, fam.
Well, I thought the best way to approach her is, because she was honest with us, the best way to approach her would be to be honest with her. And that's the courteous thing to do. And then we ended up drinking together on the final day. Amazing. We only had 2 wines each, but we're still we're definitely...
Like glasses or bottles?
Glasses? 2 glasses? Honestly, if I had my way, it would have been 2 bottles, but the bar closed.
Damn. So
that one was more difficult than I thought so, but I've actually, I got all my grades back, so I got a B+ for that overall.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
That's what I'm aiming for, a B+.
Yeah, well, I handed in my essay proposal.
Yeah.
And I got like a B- because I was just like... I used some of the wrong sources. She was like, I don't really know what question you're asking. I don't know what you're trying to answer. And I'm like... Right. Okay, so I went into her office, we talked about it, and she gave me the topic. Got my essay back, and my essay got, I think, a B+ overall. So we managed to improve upon what we got. So I got a B+ overall for that grade, and I'm just waiting for politics, which at the moment... I got an A+ in that one at the moment. I'm just waiting for my essay to come back. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. See, that essay, when I handed in both of those essays, they were due at the same time, the Contact and Colonialism essay was better in my mind, and that got a B+. So I'm thinking that the politics one is going to be a B-, but also they're expecting different things out of a politics essay than an anthropology essay. So, unsure. And then after that, I have to wait for my dissertation and your play.
Yeah.
I think
I'm waiting on both of them. Because I handed in my essay after I handed in my script.
Right, you had that 5,000 word essay. Yeah. Ridiculous.
That I practically wrote in one night.
Hey man, hey.
Boy.
You were writing that when I was... Yeah, you were writing that the day I flew down. Yeah. To Dunedin. Yeah.
It was insane.
Because I remember I got to Dunedin at 2 p.m. and you were like, what was it? Like 1,000 words to go. And I was like, damn, you were messaging me last night. Yeah.
I finished everything, the whole essay, with citations and everything by 6 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And I was sitting there like, I don't feel all that sleepy. So I'm going to brush my teeth and go to uni. And handed it in.
You're such a trooper.
Yeah, I was like, I don't feel... And then after I handed it, I got on the bus and just fell asleep. And I felt like I was in this dream state where I fell asleep, woke up, and I was in a different place. And I was like, what the hell? And then fall back asleep again and end up in another bus station. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, God. And then, I fell asleep again, and then I woke up in Albany Station. I was like, holy shit. oh, boy.
Oh, no. I honestly couldn't do that. I would have decided, I'm going to bed. I'm handing this... If I wake up too late, I'm handing this in tomorrow.
I couldn't. That was the due date. I already had an extension and everything.
Oh, no.
Just because, I worked in the 2 productions.
Yeah.
So my lecturer, Rena, was like, oh yeah, I'll just give you an extension as well. And I'm like, sweet.
Amazing.
Good old Rena.
Yeah. I actually didn't have to ask for any extensions. I did hand in a couple things late, but only by a day.
Yeah.
I tend to do that. It's like if I don't feel happy with it the day it's due, like if I'm fully like this is just not to my standard, I'll
Yeah.
leave it for a day and then
Yeah, because one of my classmates had that same thought. Was like, I'm just gonna sleep and then hand it in or something.
Yeah.
And turn it in was like fucking up with her. So that I didn't want to have that stress. So I was like, I'm gonna hand it in early.
Although actually, I'm surprised you had to do a hard copy hand in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because all of my stuff this semester anyway. Actually, no, even last semester, everything I've handed in for honours has been electronic. The only thing I had to hand in physical copy was my dissertation.
Yeah, every assignment I had a physical hand in.
Huh.
Which was
That's wild.
I mean, they did
wild.
give us like $70 for printing costs. So like,
that is true.
Maybe they're thinking like we may as well use it.
May as well get them to use it. Although I've been using it for stuff that's not university stuff, like just for stuff that I need to like all my work contracts and stuff. I use that money.
I was glad they gave us $70 of printing costs because I had to print out my script and that was 24 pages long, and I didn't want to print it double-sided.
Yeah,
just for like presentational sake.
Did you have to bind it?
Apparently, according to the assignment guy, I had to.
Yeah.
But my supervisor was like, "No, it's fine. Just staple it on the sides." So like, I called her and it's like, "Yeah. Just like tell the dude there that like that's what I said." And I just went up to him like, "Yeah, my supervisor just said it's fine to be stapled." And he's like, "All right."
Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah, I don't even know how to like bind it."
Yeah, I mean, no.
Apparently, you had to like order it or something.
No, they had a free binding service at the Art Student Centre. We handed in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where?
Just around, and you know that area. So you know the new Art Student Centre, that new study area that used to be that old dingy cafe. Yeah, well, in that area that was the old office space. Remember that? So you know how when we first started, to get to the art student's office, you had to go around the side?
Oh, yeah.
But now it's just opened up through the two doors. Yeah, it was in that area.
Oh, okay.
This had food there as well.
Yeah.
So I went there and got 3 copies bound. I got 1 that I was handing in and 2 to take home with me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They never freaking told me that.
It was on... Oh, wait, are you signed up with the Arts Grad Labs newsletter? Well, because I got it through the newsletter.
Oh, okay.
So...
Maybe I just ignored it, just because...
Maybe. I was the first one of anthropology that day, but the only reason is because I had to go up north that day, so, you know.
Yeah, I think... Oh, wait. I think I had, like, a post-grad newsletter thing, but they had that, like, well-being thing.
Yeah. Oh, maybe... Huh, that's so weird, yeah, because I got in the newsletter, it was binding party. Woo! Had food, drinks.
Oh, I think I may have gotten that, but I ignored it, yeah.
You ignored it? Don't ignore them, my dude, they're so useful. Yeah, I just got 3 copies bound. They look really nice, actually. I have to say, they look quite professional.
Damn.
Find out what grade I get, because they're going to go from either looking really professional, if I get like an A grade, to being really shit if I get like a C. I'll be like, these are awful.
Yeah, I stapled mine on the side.
That's fine.
And like, you know, I had... Because I was using Celtex, which is a script writing software. And it creates like a title page for you, but like, you know, script wise.
Yeah.
And, you know, the assignment guy's just like, oh, that's not the proper like title page. And I'm like, it is if you're writing a script. And he's like, oh, you know, like I just didn't think he knew that I was writing a play.
Right.
He just thought it was another like dissertation.
Yeah, well, because I know for I'm not sure, because you have to give it a title.
Yeah.
You have your name in the center third, and at the bottom you have this dissertation is submitted in partial requirements of a BA honours in anthropology 2018.
Yeah.
And is only for examination purpose, yada 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 yada. That's what we have to do for anthropology, and then obviously the rest is just the dissertation itself. I had my appendices and then the bibliography.
Yeah, see, like, I'm running a play and I didn't have that.
Yeah.
It literally just said Shotgun Club.
Shotgun Club, Randell Buenafé. Yeah. Honestly, that's a script.
Yeah.
That's a script. I'm not sure if you would need the bottom bit, but probably not. Because, you know, like, submitted in partial completion of a BA honours drama. But it doesn't really matter because I think you guys are assessing it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Because by the sounds of it, it looks like your tutor was going to be marking it.
My supervisor's going to be marking it in an external.
Yeah, so because, so it's different. So, like, your supervisor knows you, obviously, because she's your supervisor, so they're going to mark it, then send it off externally.
Yeah.
We just hand in our dissertations, and it gets sent to any anthropologist.
Oh, okay.
It's not necessarily our supervisor.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets externally assessed by another university. So that's why we need to have all the official stuff on it, so it doesn't get lost and, Whereas with you, if it's your supervisor and then external, it's only 2 people and one person knows who you are. So that's interesting though, because obviously you've been talking with her about your play for quite a while. Yeah. So it's interesting that she's marking it as well. That's quite...
Since like last semester.
Yeah, because my supervisor, we've been discussing my dissertation at length, but she's never going to mark it.
Yeah, that is odd. Maybe that's why they have the external
marker. Yeah, I think... Well, because we still have an external marker, but I suppose the point is that your supervisor's just meant to help you along.
Yeah.
And then with their help and your knowledge and experience or whatever, it'll go to someone else. And if they understand what you're doing and give you a grade, then it's off to...
Yeah. Although, to be fair, like, there wasn't a lot of... There was a lot of guidance in how I wrote my script. There wasn't a lot of guidance on how the paper worked. Because like there wasn't a Canvas page until I had to hand it in, and even then it was kind of useless just because she didn't post the assignment, so I couldn't print a cover sheet for my assignment.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. We had to email this random man, and we had to give them like an identical PDF of what we sent. Of what we printed out.
Yeah.
And because the way I did it, I had them in 3 separate files. So I had all my appendices together.
Yeah.
Then I had my dissertation. And then I had my bibliography. I wanted to keep them all separate just because it was easier to organise it all. So then I had to like find a PDF merger and like turn them all into PDFs and then combine it all together. And I was like, it was such a hoo-ha thing to do. But yeah, I remember. And then I had my friend Liam was over home the day I had to go hand it in. So like he's sitting there and I'm like, he's like sitting there and he's just like watching me like literally on the cusp of having like a breakdown. And he's just like in his room like on his phone and I'm like rushing through my room like a whippet trying to get everything done. And then I'm like, okay, I'm off, I'm handing it in, bye. And I thought he was going to head off. Yeah. But when I handed in everything, because I basically just went out, printed it, bound it, handed it in, came back on the bus.
Yeah.
And he was still at my house.
Oh.
And the funny thing was that we ended up going up north and he still stayed at my house. And then he had Misha, Lee, Matthew all over at my house while I was up north.
That's weird, right?
Not really. Not really. Well, no, because I was like, because when me and Mum were in the car, we were driving, and I was like, because it was basically just him in my room and Uncle Boy upstairs, and I was like, I wonder if Liam's like okay, and then I was like, maybe I'll get, because he still hadn't seen the rest of our friends. Oh, okay. I was like, I shall see what Misha's doing. So then.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just him in the house.
No. Okay, and then I was just like, I'll see what Misha's doing. Misha was like, yeah, I'm keen to go over, but like, you're not home. And I was like, that's fine. Just go for it. Like, just go spend some time with him so he's not like isolated and alone in the basement of my house with no one there. And so then they got like Matthew and everybody else to come over. They had like a little bit of a party, and I was like, that's so fun, except I wasn't there, but I was at my house, so I was kind of there in spirit. But yeah. That's just my open door policy. It's just if you're around, I'm usually at home. Just come in. My door's always unlocked.
To the listeners, that was an open invite.
It's an open invite, but I'm not giving you my address. That's the thing. It's only open door policy if you know where I live.
You have to work for it.
You have to work. You have to meet me first. You have to get me to like you, and then you get the open door policy. But no, seriously, like, yeah, my house is just like open. We've never. My mother has never been. Even when I was at college, my mother's never been like a strict. Like, they're going to be here at this time and leave at this time. It's like, oh, they're coming over? When are they leaving? Are they leaving in 2 weeks? Cool. Like, she's never... Yeah, we've never had, like, a I don't know, controlled environment for our house. Like,
right.
You can't come to our house at these times. We're just like, come over. Unless it's super inconvenient. Like, if someone's died, we'll be like, oh, look, sorry, someone's dead, but do you want a coffee? And then...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think my mother wouldn't be too bothered, like, unless we're making a lot of rockers.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm not bringing people over and having massive parties. Yeah. It's like someone comes over and we're, like, chilling.
Yeah.
Although, and also now, because I live in my own space.
Oh, yeah.
It's different. But even when I was, like, 16 and lived in the, like, main body of the house, it was still, like, just cash. Which is, because it's the same with our, like, with her friends and my uncle's friends and just anybody that knows us. If they're around, we just let them into the house. It's like that with our family, actually. The amount of my cousins that have lived with us over the years is... Because we're just like, yeah, come. Oh, yeah. Come, live with us. Are you staying for like 5 years? Cool. Like, yeah, we've just been really open like that.
Hells yeah.
So get to know me and you'll have like another free house in Auckland. You can come over whenever. Honestly though, like, a part of me was like, oh, maybe I should have stayed. Because I was like, I do like a catch up and a party.
You missed out, James.
I did miss out, but I had iwi stuff to do. I had runanga to go to. And at the time, I didn't think I was going to Dunedin, so I stayed on there. I stayed up north I was going to stay up there for about a week or two.
Oh, yeah.
And just, like, chill out up north.
So much for that.
Well, yeah, but then I had to hide it down to Dunedin. And then when I got back to Auckland... Cassandra, who I had left behind in the north, she drove down to Auckland that night. And so when I got back to Auckland, Cassandra was in Auckland as well. And then we ended up going down to Putaruru together for a tangi. And then, like, so I ended up, it ended up being like a divided, I stayed a week with Cassandra, like I stayed like a couple of days with Cassandra and her mother, and Cassandra stayed with me and my mother, and then we... split apart, if you will. But it was good, actually. It was good to have her down in Auckland, actually. It was,
yeah, you've been all over the place.
I've
just been living at uni.
Just been living at uni. And it wasn't my intention. I fully intended to hibernate in the far north for like 2 weeks. You know, like go full on.
Hibernate in the far north.
Yeah, I
think that's the title of the podcast.
Yeah, no, full on was gonna like go up there. You know, just wear gumboots and like just go country and but then I had to go to Dunedin, put on my nice clothes and act professional. Like, I had to go around and sit in forum meetings and, and sit and like come up, like do brainstorming activities, listen in, take notes. Like, so ready to just go country and not do anything. But, oh well. It's all for the iwi. Yeah. It's all going to pay off in the end. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I will say, like, as much as I was wanting to just have, like, a rest, those things down in, like, iwi Chadsworth, they are really, really fulfilling because you get to meet and hear from, like, some of the biggest names in Māoridom. You also get to hear from some of the biggest names in Māoridom talk too much, but that's another story. But it is like it is a fully fulfilling kind of like experience, and I do like doing them. But Dunedin was just such a distance. Like literally went from one end of the country to the other. Yeah.
Although South Island is very nice. I quite like South Island.
South Island is gorgeous, and there's not that many. And actually, I have to say, not that many people down in Dunedin. Like it wasn't. It's not like I went from the far north to a big city. I went from the far north to a city that's really a small town. So yeah, it wasn't terrible. Although, I mean, the thing is that with with Māori gatherings, it's a lot of interaction. It's a lot of kissing on the cheek, hongis. It's a lot of standing up and singing. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of eating. So it is they are quite full on days. And it's a lot of and also when you get quite intimidated because there's some names there that are like really really big names, like very important people. And they're coming to talk to me, and I'm like, my name is James Holt. I finished a Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology, and I'm trying not to go insane. Like,
Soon to be Dr. Jane.
yeah, soon to be Doctor. Watch this space in about 10 years. Dr. James Holt. Potential Masters of Indigenous Studies. We'll see how that. Like, you know, like it's. Yeah, you end up getting these like big names talking to. I met like Mike Smith. He's like, okay, you're looking at me confused. He was the guy that cut the tree on One Tree Hill.
I got it.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I wrote a report about you in year 12. Like, you're literally like a person, right? Like...
A living legend.
Yeah, and I didn't actually know that he was from Whangaroa. So, where I'm from, we've got Ngāti Kahu, and then there's Ngāti Kahu ki Whangaroa, which is kind of a breakaway.
Yeah.
And he was representing the chairperson from there. So I didn't actually realise that we're quite closely, we're not close related, but we are like whanaunga. We're like, because he's from Whangaroa and I'm part of a hapu that's both Whangaroa and Ngāti Kahu. But we, in terms of our treaty settlement and the way in which we govern ourselves, we go with Ngāti Kahu.
Okay.
But we, like whanaunga-wise, whakapapa-wise, we go both ways.
Oh, okay.
Both to Ngāti Kahu and... Whangaroa. So yeah, I didn't realise. I was like, oh my god, we relations. So
we fam.
We like genuinely. He knew. He either knew one of my mother's cousins or one of my mother's uncles. So because he knew a Dave Eddie here, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is because there's a sort. Because see. Again, it's difficult when they're like, oh, did you know a Dave? And I'm like, I don't know.
Which one?
No, the thing is because we all have nicknames in the valley. So I only know my uncles as like Uncle Chappie, Uncle Sooty. Like I don't know their real... I know the real names of 3, Uncle William, Uncle Robbie. But everybody else, I'm like, who's Chappie and Soot? Yeah. But Uncle Soot was called Dave. So potentially he knew him.
I'm pretty sure like one of my uncles is called Archimedes.
That's such a good name.
I know.
That's such a good
but,
name.
Like, we called him Tito Bong. That was his nickname, like Bong.
Yeah, right? See, like, you have nicknames that just have absolutely nothing to do...
And it's like, I'm pretty sure his real name's like Archimedes or something.
Yeah, like, my mother's...
I was like, what?
My mother...
That's wild.
I think is the only one... Oh, well, no, so this... Yeah, actually, she'd probably be the only one.
Yeah. And my
who
mom...
doesn't really get called by her nickname.
Oh, okay.
So it's... no, it's her and Auntie Judy and don't tend to get called by their nicknames. And everybody else is like Auntie Aroha, Auntie Hara, Uncle Boy, his name's Philip.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Harley, Harry, Bubby, Helen. Like, yeah, like it's just nicknames.
Yeah.
But at least I know their real names because they're my immediate aunties and uncles. So I know who they are.
My mom usually is called Army, but her full name's like Armelin.
It's such nice names. Yeah. They're such good names.
I think her full name's like Armelin Florence.
You know what that is? That's the Spanish in the Philippines with all those like hoity-toity names. Although I mean, not to say that I think it's not that our names aren't nice. It's just that they're like normal, like they're like Helen, Philip.
They've been normalized, I think. Yeah.
Well, here they have been. They're quite normal, and the only ones that really stand out is Yvonne, my mother, and of course my Auntie Aroha, because it's a name in Te Reo Māori. So the only ones that really and Judy Ann, because that's quite a different. Here I am giving all my aunties names. Hi, Auntie.
Yeah.
Plural. If you're listening, just giving you shout outs.
Shout out to all the aunties.
Shout out to all the and Mum. Hi, Mum. But although I know she's not listening because she doesn't listen. She don't have time for podcasts.
Well, my mum already got a mention. So.
I know because she called during one podcast. I'm wondering when the day will be when my mother calls me during a podcast. But the problem is that when we record these, she's always at work. So unless
my mum was at work.
True. I mean, my mother actually did call me yesterday to get her washing in because it was about to rain. So if only, although. Stuff that, because if I was here and she called me being like, can you take my washing down? I'd be like, no, I'm out. She'd be like, what the hell? Then there would have been domestic on the phone.
We'll be back. There's been
like just have
back in 5 minutes.
Just like play like Blackpink just for the whole duration while I'm out of the room. I come back. No, it would have been fine. It's just she just would have been worried about her washing getting wet. Because it did end up raining, so it's really important. Washing needs to be done. Yeah. This is a very important part of your day. That was a nice trip down names.
Yeah.
Just Archimedes though, like what?
I know.
What a name.
Right?
Like, I suppose it's good to stand out. Like, you
Yeah.
definitely stand out if you're called Archimedes. Well, there's such high expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Such high expectations.
My brother's like, Archimedes, where's that from? I was like, he's that scientist dude.
Yeah, from like ancient Rome.
Wasn't he Greek?
Oh yeah, Greek.
Yeah, he's Greek.
Was he? Yes, he
Yeah.
was. He's actually Syracusan, to be exact. I think he was from Syracuse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it was from Syracuse. He came up with the
Was he the one who like cut down things? He had that starting idea of atoms or something, or was he the guy who came up with like displacement or something?
I think he came up with displacement.
The water displacement.
He's the one that came up with the Archimedes screw. You know the Archimedes screw, where you where it's a screw that like makes water travel upward.
Oh, okay.
Rather than down, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or maybe it was water displacement. I'm not 100% sure.
It had something to do with weight.
I only know the cool legendy stuff that he did, like Archimedes' claw. Have you ever heard?
No.
Apparently, on the walls of Syracuse, when the Romans invaded, there was a thing called Archimedes' claw, and it was able to like pick up, the triremes, the longboats they had, was able to pick them up and then drop them again, and it did split in two when they hit the water.
So like a giant version of the claw game.
Yeah, pretty much.
But instead of picking up like soft toys, it picked up like triremes.
Yeah. Would like hook onto them, pick them up, and then drop them.
How do you even like come up?
Archimedes.
Was he the same guy who made like the death ray or something with the mirrors, supposedly?
Oh, potentially, yeah, it could have been. He was the guy that according to legend, when the city was finally taken, when Syracuse was finally taken, a Roman soldier walked into his room. And
I think I know this.
Yeah, and then he said, and then the Roman soldier, I think, tried to take him back to Rome, because obviously he was a well-known, and he said he told him to get away because he's disturbing his circles, because he was doing some mathematical stuff on the ground, and then I think he ended up getting killed by the Roman soldier.
Bro, fuck off my circles.
Yeah, like, you're disturbing my circles, and the Roman was like...
that's another good title for the podcast. You're disturbing my circles.
Honestly, Archimedes, what a man.
We could search it up, actually.
Yeah, see if it's actually true. Because a lot of that stuff is hard to know, because it's so long ago. Yeah. It's hard to know what fell into legend. You're disturbing my circles, Archimedes. Is that what you're looking up?
Archimedes of Syracuse.
Yeah.
Was a Greek mathematician, physicist, engineer, inventor, and astronomer.
Was there nobody else to take any of those other jobs?
He took all of them.
He took every single one of them.
Greatest mathematician of antiquity and one of the greatest of all time. Archimedes anticipated modern calculus and analysis by applying concepts of infinitesimals and the method of exhaustion to derive and rigorously prove a range of geometrical theorems.
I believe everything that says, because I don't understand anything.
Including the area of a circle, the surface area and volume of a sphere, and the area under a parabola.
Oh, of course, he came up with pi.
Investigating the spiral bearing his name and using exponentiation for expressing very large numbers. The physical phenomenon founding hydrostatics and statics, including an explanation of the principle of lever. He is credited with designing innovative machines such as his screw pump, I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Compound pulleys, and defensive war machines to protect his native Syracuse from invasion.
Bam!
Yeah. Oh, here you go. Archimedes died during the siege of Syracuse when he was killed by a Roman soldier despite orders that he should not be harmed. Cicero describes visiting the tomb of Archimedes, which was surmounted by a sphere and a cylinder. Oh, okay, it doesn't say how he died. But maybe later on.
I really hope he was just like, you're disturbing my circles, you absolute troglodyte. Can you, leave me alone?
Your trackpad's really smooth, just by the way.
Thank you. Yes, it's actually quite a good laptop, I have to say.
Because, the trackpad on my laptop is, absolute shite.
Sometimes the trackpad has, moments where it doesn't respond, but I think that's more because I've had the computer on for, 3 days. And it's just telling me to, get off the computer.
Oh, yeah, he's the guy who created the heat ray.
See, look, he was doing a bunch of shit.
And Claw of Archimedes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you, knowing all about Archimedes.
I don't know how I know this. I feel like this is something we may have covered when I was in primary school, and it's some of those like weird facts that have just stuck in my brain.
Yeah, reference to circles. The last words attributed to Archimedes are, "Do not disturb my circles."
Love it!
A reference to the circles in the mathematical drawing that he was supposedly studying when disturbed by the Roman soldier. The Scot is often given in Latin as "noli turbare circulos meos." I don't know Latin. Don't like
Neither.
me. But there's no reliable evidence that Archimedes uttered these words, and they do not appear in the account given by Plutarch.
Well, who cares? They're fun.
Nah.
Who cares? I don't care. They're fun.
Yeah.
Don't disturb my circles.
So, the title of the podcast is either going to be Hibernating in the Far North or Do Not Disturb My Circles. And with that, we'll end the podcast.
Yeah! Fantastic. Again, this was more of another non-topical rant.
Yeah.
We went everywhere and nowhere.
I feel like no offense to both of us, but like the topics we covered today was very boring.
Yeah.
Very admin-y and like very personal.
Yeah, I think it's because we haven't seen each other in a while that we're like, you know what, we might as well have an admin meeting while we're doing this. I don't know, next, I so think we should talk about flags one.
Yeah, okay.
Topic. Read up more about flags.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah. We'll talk about vexillology.
Yeah.
I totally think I've butchered that.
Please rate and subscribe. No, I'm kidding.
Please like and subscribe.
But
you can go to my Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon.
We might end up with one, but I'm not at the moment. No.
In like 5 years.
Yeah, when we desperately need the money because we're destitute and poor.
Shout out to Gucci Coochie.
Oh, am I getting messages? That's my group chat. Gucci Coochie. Gucci Coochie? Who is it? Oh, it's Charlie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll end it at that. We should be in Spotify up soon.
I'm so sorry. Charlie just posted this post that's like, 82-year-old woman votes for the first time.
Hell yeah.
Then dies. And then he goes, not to be a bitch, but this is so funny. And I'm like, Charlie. Oh my god. I wonder wait, it depends. Who did she vote for?
Look, at least she voted before she died.
Honestly, anybody out there, wherever you are in the world, go vote if you're able to vote in your country. Because that's a really good point to make. Some people don't get to vote in their country. Some people don't have the ability to to take part in the political process. So anybody that's in a democratic country where you can vote, do it. Because it is actually a gift for some people.
Also, I feel like I was laughing at the death of a woman, but no, I was just laughing that, she voted just before. I feel mean now. Like,
yeah.
I feel bad.
I don't know, like...
Oh no. James.
What have I done?
Oh god.